Welcome back to Tackling Debt with Emelike Ukpabi. My name is Emelike Ukpabi, your host. And today we're going to be talking about minimalism and money and why living with less can help you take control of debt. But before we dive in, I just want to highlight our $1 billion debt challenge. This initiative, while open to everyone, is focused on supporting the Black community in Canada. Our goal is ambitious yet achievable, and that's to reduce the community's total debt by $1 billion in 2026. The reality is that debt continues to weigh heavily on our community, but imagine the impact if we could collectively lighten that burden, free more families to save, invest, and contribute even more to Canada's growth. That number may seem large, but let's break it down. If 100,000 families each reduce their debt by $10,000, we'll reach our target. And with over 5.4 million members in the Black community across Canada, we might even surpass that. The topics we discuss here are designed to guide, help, and empower you to achieve this goal. We're not providing professional or financial advice. I can always connect you to people who can give professional advice, financial advice, okay? And we are still developing a community-wide tracker to help us monitor our collective progress. In the meantime, you can start by tracking, your personal debt reduction daily, weekly, monthly. Every small step counts, okay? So back to minimalism and money. Minimalism is intentional living, choosing what adds value to your life and letting go of the rest. It's not about suffering, being cheap or owning as little as possible. It's about being deliberate with your time, money, and attention. That connects directly to spending less than you earn. When you define what matters most, it becomes easier to cut spending on things that do not support your goals, which creates a margin in your budget. And that margin is what helps you save, invest, and pay off debt, and also reduce financial stress. A simple way to think about it is, do I really want this? While good money habits ask, can I afford this without borrowing from my future? When both answers are guided by intention, you stop buying out of habit, comparison, or pressure and start using money on purpose. Minimalism works in money because it reduces decision fatigue and cuts hidden costs of clutter, upgrades, and constant consumption. We've said it here several times. Debt is not all, it's not only a numbers problem, it's also a behavior and identity problem, which is why shame and comparison keep people stuck. A useful debt payoff mindset is to create a margin by spending less first and then using that freed up money to attack debt consistently. Now, small wins really do matter in tackling debt, because they build momentum, confidence, motivation, to keep you going. Research on debt snowball approach found that paying off smaller balances first can create quick wins that encourage people to stick to that plan, the repayment plan, even though paying high interest debt first can save money in some cases. Now, why do small wins help? They make a big debt goal feel more manageable, breaking it down. And each paid off balance gives a psychological boost. Progress becomes visible, which helps you stay consistent. A practical example is if you have 3 debts, paying off the smallest one can feel like your first real victory. That win can make the next payment easier to commit, especially when the full debt total feels overwhelming. The best way to use this idea is to list your debts from the smallest to largest. We talked about this, keeping the minimum payments on all debts, put extra money towards the smallest balance first, and celebrate each payoff with a low-cost reward that does not add a new debt. Okay? So minimalism doesn't mean having nothing. It means making room for what matters most, And sometimes it starts with getting out of debt. It simply means less clutter, more intention, and more freedom. Okay? So before we sign off today, I just want to make a heartfelt appeal. Are you struggling with overwhelming debt? Feeling trapped, scared, or ashamed to talk about it? Maybe it's hard to reach out to friends and family because of the stigma. Please know that you don't have to face this alone. You can reach out to me today. I can connect you with professionals who can help without judgment. You can contact me anytime at my email over the Emelike Ukpabi1@gmail.com. If this inspired you, please share this video with someone in our community and comment, I am in to join the $1 billion debt challenge. And you can click this, subscribe to my channel by clicking on that subscribe button. Let's turn debt into freedom, one Black Canadian at a time. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good one. Bye.